Good morning, Flutes. It is Tuesday. It's usually Tie Tuesday, but it's real hot outside, and I've already been out doing stuff, so it's T-shirt Tuesday today. Hope everybody's having a great day. We are moving on into a very, very important concept today. Kind of one of those wall moments, I like to call it, okay? If you don't learn this, you just hit a wall, and you're never going to be any better. But stay with me. I'll show you how to do this concept, and you will be just fine. These are called slurs. We are on line 4.4. It's an articulation mark, much like an accent. It's called a slur. And a slur is the opposite of everything we've taught you since day one, which is you don't tongue the note. You don't start the note with a t sound by pushing the air out using your tongue before you start the note. Now, it's marked by these curved lines, all right? And you do so, what you want to do, and I know this is slightly backwards, I compromised. The notes are backwards, but I wrote the T's and the S, hopefully, in the same direction you will read it. Okay, so the first note is tongued, okay? We're going to do it t to start that note. But when we go to this note, we just move the fingers. Now, on this, this might as well be a tie, right? We've had ties where we just add the notes together. But on a slur, you move the fingers, so it's a new note. Move the fingers, keep blowing. Don't restart the note with another t. Just keep blowing, all right? So it's very smooth transition between the notes. To, move the fingers. Okay, if you have more than one in a row, you just keep moving the fingers. But you start where the slur, where the curved line starts, you do tongue. To, whatever it is, and everything else is slurred. That looks like a 2, but it's supposed to be an S. All right. I would encourage you to take these first couple of lines, say 4.4, maybe 4.5, and do this. Write the T's. If we were in school, I would be giving you an assignment to do that. Write the T at the beginning of the curve line and write S for the rest of the notes. So you know where to go and where just to blow. It's like a whole note, except you're moving your fingers. You're changing your notes. So, say for instance, the first measure of 4.4, F and G. All right. If it was not slurred, you'd go to, like that. Now slur it, I'm not going to re-hit the G. I'm just going to move my fingers and go to the G without doing anything in my mouth. Still impulse a little bit. And that's it. So you get this smooth connected sound between the notes. That's a specific thing. We don't want to do that all the time. That's the reason we harped and harped and harped at you at the beginning of the year about tonguing, starting every note, ta, 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 tu, 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 tu. But we don't want to do that all the time. Sometimes we want it to be very smooth. And so when it's supposed to be smooth, they write that curved line. That's a slur. The difference between a slur and a tie. Tie, same note. You just keep blowing the note you're on. Slur, you're moving your fingers. You're changing notes. Okay, so let's go through this. I want to do this. We're going to say tongue and slur for every note on 4.4. Down, up, ready, and go. Ta, slur, ta, slur, ta, slur, 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 ta, ta, slur, slur, ta, slur, 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 ta, slur, ta. Pretty weird way to do that. Now let's say the notes. Ready and go. F, G, A, G, F, G, A, F, C. B flat, C, D, C, D, E, F, G, E, F. Singing is atrocious, but you get the idea. Notice I said E and not E flat, right? Because our key of F, 1 flat, B flat. So that E we learned back there on 4.1, that's the note, okay? The E natural, got to get that in there if you're in the key of F. All right, so take some time to play that. Pass that off. Let's move on to 4.5. 4.5. Now, we have a new key signature, right? We got to start checking that stuff every day, every line. So, key of E flat, 3 flats, B flat, E flat, A flat. So now we go back to the E flat. We go to an A flat, pinky over here. All right, let's look at just the first measure of this one, okay? Ta, or two. We only use the tongue on the first note. Everything else is slurred. Listen to it again. My D's are pretty weak. That's right. And I think my D is weak because I've noticed while I was playing a few minutes ago, I'm losing a screw. So I've got to get a little teeny screwdriver and screw that in. Now, you at home are going to have to keep your eye out for that. That's the reason I took a second to point it out. Because you're going to have to start watching for these things too. When you see these little screws backing out and coming out of your horn, where is it? There it is. Okay, you're going to have to take a little teeny screwdriver, maybe out of an eyeglass repair kit or something, to tighten that down. You also want to check here at the ends of the posts. All right. Because if you let it come all the way out, what's going to happen? If this one comes all the way out, these 2 keys are going to fall off. And I know how to put it back on. That's not a huge deal for me. For you, it probably would be. So before it falls completely out and falls apart, be sure and find those little screws and tighten them back up. Because if you don't and it falls off, especially if one of these big keys, if a screw was to back out of this and this whole rod here falls off, there's springs and stuff in there. It's really tough to get back together, especially if you don't know what you're doing. So keep an eye on your horn. Do a little self-maintenance check. You see some screws starting to back out, put it back in. Last tip on that, don't crank them to death. Don't tighten them till just, because the key won't move up and down. All right? You just put the screw in till it's tight. Let it go. Don't feel like, well, this is never coming out again. Don't do that. That's no good either. All right. So here are our notes. I want to sing this kind of. Sing being a rough term. Okay, with 2 like that. So you get the idea of the tongue and the slurs. All right, we're going to do this a ton, but since this is the topic of the day, that's what we're going to work on. Ready? So for my first note. Ready and go. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Everybody get that 1, 2, 1, 2, you know, you tongued every other note there at the end. Again, I would go through, write a T for every time you start the slur. That's where you tongue, and an S for places where you don't tongue. Till you start getting used to that, all right? Till it starts to feel a little, and it'll be weird for a while. Everything new is, okay? Spend some time with it. Don't act like you can't do it. Everything's weird at first. Just work on it till you got it. Okay, so here we go. With notes, 2 and ready and go. C, D, E flat, D, E flat, F, G, G, A flat, G, F, E flat, D, C, F, D, E flat, D, C, G, A flat, G, F, E flat, D, C. All right. So that is slurs. hugely important. This is a little bit of a longer video than I normally would make. This is a hugely important concept, and you've got to work on this one a ton so that you really master this and it becomes natural to you. Enough that it starts with tongue, slur, whatever. You can do either as easily as you want to so that when you see it on a piece of music, you got it. All right? Have a great day, Flutes.